Okay guys, so we just did our squat to row. That was our full body exercise. We could use that as our back exercise, or again, you could use it for legs as well if you did something like with the lunge as well. You could use it for both, or you could just use it as a full body on its own. Okay. The next exercise I'm going to show you is going to be purely for legs. So I'm going to show you the single leg touchdown, single leg deadlift. And I like this one because again, it puts a lot of load on one leg. And again, we don't really need much equipment. I will show you a variation with the band. You could also use a dumbbell for this as well in one hand as well if you want to add a little bit extra load. But I'm going to show you how to do the single leg touchdown or single leg deadlift, whichever you want to call it. So what we're going to start with is, again, I'm going to do this on my left leg. So I'll put my left leg forward, so I still want my feet second and third toe forward again, still want the same cue, same setup. I'm going to take my right foot and I'm going to move it just behind my left. And then what I'm going to be doing is, because I'm working my left glute, I want a bit of a rotational force for that glute to resist. So I'm going to use my right arm to reach down to the floor. Okay, so as I'm reaching down to the floor, I'm going to be pushing my hips, my pelvis backwards towards the wall. I'm going to be keeping my belly button drawn in. Okay, I'll be trying to maintain as close to a neutral spine as I can. I can have a slight curve here, that's fine, providing you haven't got an excessive amount of load, you haven't got excessive curvature. We can have some curvature, that's not too much of a problem because again, this is unloaded. So again, that's our main form cues. Okay, so we still want to keep that drawing in maneuver going throughout. So again, feet second and third toe forward, knee tracking over the second toe. I'm going to put that right foot just behind the left. And again, I'm going to be using that right arm to create that rotational force on this left hip, on this left glute. So I'm going to be reaching down. I'm going to be coming down again. 3, 2, 1. Hold 1, 2, and then you're going to push the floor away, drive up and squeeze that glute real tight. Again, we're going to come down. 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. Push the floor away, come back up, squeeze that glute. Come back down again. 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2. Push that floor away, squeeze that glute, hold it. Get stable before we move again. I'm going to show you guys on the side. So again, feet second and third toe forward, knees tracking over, core in. Go do a drawing in maneuver. I'm going to drive my pelvis back, lean forward. You're going to hold it. 1, 2. Push the floor away. Back down nice and slow. Hold it. 1, 2. Push that floor away. Again, back down. 3, 2, 1. Hold it. Push that floor away. Okay. I have seen this exercise done with this leg way back here, but that just creates a huge counterbalance for us, and it really takes a lot of load off that working leg. So we want to keep that leg nice and close. If you want to regress this exercise a little bit, you could just pop the foot on the floor. So you could maybe start with the foot kind of back into the side like a kickstand. You could progressively move that closer behind, and then eventually I sometimes put the big toe into my heel, and then we could bring that leg up as well. So that's a few ways you can progress it. You could also add a dumbbell or a light load in that hand as well, in the hand that you're reaching to the ground with. The other progression I really like, okay, that my colleague Brett showed me, it's one of my favourites. I absolutely love it. Great way of getting more glute activity. So big shout out to Brent for that one. That's going to be the resisted band single leg touchdown. So this one is a challenge, guys. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting this band over ourselves. So I'm going to loop that band around my waist, and I want that band just to go over. You'll feel these two big bony bumps on the front of our pelvis, so our anterior pelvic spine. So we want it to go over those bumps, so it's not around our stomach. That's going to be a bit uncomfortable. You don't want your dinner or lunch coming up later. That wouldn't be a good idea. So we want that band just around those bony bumps at the front of the pelvis. And now we're going to have to resist this force because that band's trying to pull my pelvis back this way. So I'm going to have to use my glutes that much more to overcome that resistance when I'm coming back up. So again, same form cues. My second and third toe forward. My knee's going to track over. I'm going to drive my pelvis back. That's going to unload the band. I'm going to reach down. 1, 2, 3. Hold it for 2. drive up and push up against that band. I'm going to get some kickback from that band, so I've got to really squeeze my glute to resist it. Keep that belly button drawn in. Come back, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, 1, 2. Going to drive that floor away, squeeze that glute, push up against that band. And again, back down, 3, 2, 1. Hold it, 1, 2. Push that band away. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to try and keep that spine neutral. Come back down for 3, hold for 2, push that floor away, squeeze that glute and hold. And there you guys go. That's our progression for our single leg touchdown. So again, maybe just start with a regular single leg touchdown. If you need to regress it, you can have that foot on the floor, you can move it closer behind, you can move it closer to this foot, then eventually take it off. You could have a dumbbell or a kettlebell or a weight plate for a bit extra resistance. You could also, one other thing I really love is you could use an unstable surface. Maybe start with something that has a little bit of give, like a yoga mat, or like a yoga pad. You could then use like an Eric's pad, or if you want to get real tough, maybe a half foam roller, maybe even a Bosu ball. If you want to get real extreme, you could do that. All those things are going to increase that stability demand on, on the hip joint, on the muscles of the lower body. So the ankle, the knee, the hip, okay, all those muscles that stabilize those joints are going to get a lot of work. That's going to really help to increase the stability of those joints. So again, they can produce more force when you come to doing your heavier lifts, or again, if you're an athlete, okay, so the more stable you are, get more force you can produce, the faster you can run, you can push, etc. So it's going to be really important again. And again, we could also use that band variation if we really want to get more glute activity, which everyone wants to get bigger glutes. That's all kind of what we're all here for, is what we want. So the band is really good. And again, we have to resist that pull back. So again, it's another demand, another stability demand that we have to overcome. So there you guys go. That's our single leg deadlift, single leg touchdown, whichever you want to call it. Great exercise, really good home exercise that uses minimal equipment, and you can get a lot of load on those glutes. So I hope you guys enjoy it.